That's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Yeah, you're not laughing now, are you? Saturday afternoon, just relaxing. I'm just relaxing. That light's too bright. Give me a headache. Hello, everyone. Do that, bit of that. Just relaxing. Just relaxing. That's all I'm doing. Just relaxing. Hopefully, we'll get some people who don't usually get in here because A, it's a weekend, and B, it's early doors. Today turned out lovely for me. I screwed it up a little bit with a massive lay-in. Last night, I've got a video actually. Maybe I put it on Twitter already. Let's have a look. Have you seen that? Have you seen that on Google? You can hum, or you can la la la, la la la, a tune, and it will find it. Now it's not. What's that other thing called? What's it called? I'm just rubbing my nose there. What's it called? Shazam. Like, Shazam's great. I always use Shazam. Always, you know, all the time. I frequently use Shazam. If you don't know what Shazam is, you're watching a movie or something and there's a bit of music. You think, oh, that's a nice tune. What's that? And you put your phone near the speaker, press Shazam, and it tells you the artist and the tune. But this Google thing, and I've tried it. Let's see if we can get it to work. Hang on. See if we can do it live. I'm sure it's not called Google Hum. How do I find it on my iPhone? Right, open my iPhone. Open the Google app. What's a Google app? Is that just Google? All right. It'll be fun if it works, though. Because not only will you get me to see me hum something ridiculous. Right, that's got to be a Google app. Right. On your phone, open the Google app. In the search bar, tap the mic. I will show you all of this, just not the logging in bit and all that bit. Right, I've tapped the mic. Right, so I've tapped the mic, and you can see there, it's already. Right, it's already listening to me and searching, but it says at the bottom, search for a song. Let me see if I can refresh the page so you can see search for a song. I'll just get rid of all my Linda Lusardi pictures. So get ready to see search for a song, because I'm going to have to be quiet, otherwise it starts searching. There's nothing like showing off a bit of technology. Let's try a different song, because that's really drumming more than melody, isn't it? I know one. And we're living in the love of the common people, and there they are. I'll prove it by playing it, a little bit of it.
Oh no, I'm only level 2. He's a 4.
This advert, so unconvincing.
Let's see what we have here.
Aye. Remember that?
Living on free food tickets.
Oh man, what a tune! Paul Young and our man. Well, I always forget his name. If Al's here, he'll remember the bass sound of the 80s. Quite amazing though. Like, it's worked for me frequently. It's obviously not my strong point. Humming tunes. Hummer. Is it Buffalo Soldier? There you go. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Paul Old is a good one. I'll give you that. While there's not many people in, we might not get a lot of people because of the time and that. But we've already got John Manimoo on the firm, 41 months. Machano Kaprasha Cuckoo, John. JP on the firm, 29 months. Hoita JP. And Manimoo, bless him, has dropped to Lady Godiva. Thanks, John. Much appreciated. You know where I stand on donations. I've done a stream the other night. Really good fun. Good donations. Do another stream. It's fair enough. You know, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is considered, one of the world's most sort of clever investors, clever money makers. His company is Berkshire Hathaway, and he's made his billions. Let's see how much Warren Buffett's worth. How much is? I mean, it'll be an estimate, but I consider it'll be quite a lot. I'm not even on Google search. That was really weird. Oh, bollocks. I haven't even told people I'm live. Hang on, people. Let me send off the... Let me tell people I'm live. But yeah, Warren Buffett said, in times of financial uncertainty and stock market fragility, he said the next thing you look for is your skills. What can you do? What can you offer that other people want? And that's what I'm doing now. Like, I've got I'll tell you about that in a minute. I've deviated so many different directions already, as is expected, as is my way. Why didn't I get that set up? I did. Bosh. Right, it's been done there. Right, we'll get some few more people crop up now. So I was on Substack the other day. They do this thing called writers' office hours, and it's meant to be a place where writers talk to each other and inspire each other. What it really is a place where people promote themselves. And every time I just take the piss and admit that's all it is. And I'll sort of do it in a semi-humorous way. I'll be like, hey, like a parody of the other comments on there. Hey, it's been really inspiring reading everyone else's comments and advice. So thanks for that. You really motivated me, because my Substack link could really do with some views. Link. It's ridiculous. But loads of people over the last 2 years. Can you believe my Substack is nearly I think it's over 2 years old. Let's have a quick look at that, actually. Loads of people over the last couple of years have said to me, why don't you have a tip jar? And I've written to Substack and said, listen, not everyone can afford to subscribe for like a whole year. And they said, yeah, but they can unsubscribe after a month. I said, yeah, but people forget. And it's I said this to Substack. I said, it's bad marketing, because people, they don't think, oh, that's all right, here's a 5-spot. They think, hang on, that's a whole year, I'll forget. And I wrote that in the writer's office hours, and someone said, they said, have you got Buy Me a Coffee? And I said, yeah, but you've got to go to another website. They said, no, you can put a Buy Me a Coffee button on Substack. So there's no paywall on my Substack and it will remain free. But if people do want to, if they read a story and they're particularly happy, you can press the button. It says something like feed me. I'll probably change them up every story I write. Or there's a QR code. Imagine the technology on that. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the QR code. It's the first time I've ever done it. And you see that hat up there. Maybe I'll do it live. I wonder if it'll work live. See that hat up there? I can't see where I'm pointing. I'm so tired. See that hat there? I'm going to change that into my Buy Me a Coffee tip jar. Someone also asked me in the comments of a video, is entropy better than the super chats? Without a doubt. When you use entropy, I get more of the donation and YouTube get nothing. So, you know, make your mind up there. But entropy is preferable. But obviously, I'm happy anyway. Either way, it's much appreciated as ever. Yeah, have a look. Can you see that? Look at that. Look at the QR code on that. Oi, can someone give that a go? Can someone, if you're watching this on a laptop or a computer, can you just put your camera over that and see if it links up to my... I know it does because I've done it myself. I just thought it'd be fun. So yeah, you can either click on feed me or you can just put your camera on a QR code. I feel like I was well advanced. But what I'm going to do is change that to the same QR code. Like doing it, like properly doing like almost a professional channel. Now, here's the exciting bit. I'm setting up another Substack. I'm not going to give you many details, but it's going to be it's not going to be short stories. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to involve professional editors, professional sound recordists and editors. It's going to require planning. It's going to require marketing. And it's an actual proper project that I'm looking to make a fair amount of money out of. Interesting. So that'll be interesting for you to see, because once it's unveiled, you'll be able to see the journey of a project from start up to complete failure, from start up to success, from start up, and this is the most likely, from start up to a few bumps in the road, you know, but it's going to require some investment. I've got someone else involved in it. It's not just me. We're only at the sort of idea stage, but we've got the name. We've pretty much got I can't tell you the name because the name's so good, it gives away what the Substack is, and it'll be an audio thing. But the name's cracking. As soon as you hear it, you know what it is, and that's beautiful. It's beautiful, and the content ranks very highly on Substack. Like the weird thing is, most people on Substack are like me. They're failed fiction writers. Literary fiction, please. Not children's stories like Latus. But that's what most people are on Substack. But they don't do well. They don't do well. The people who do well, weirdly, are, and interestingly, and optimistic in a way. That's the wrong word. The word I'm looking for is... It's quite... Latus help us out, or his pags in. What's the word I'm looking for? Hello, 42. Hello, Ludwig. No, it is not. No, there won't be a lot of AI involved either. It's not called sex talk. No. No, it's because I know he can help me. But either way, it's, what's the word? Encouraging. It's encouraging that the things that tend to do well on Substack are what other platforms call conspiratorial newsletters and podcasts. Yeah, weirdly. So that's kind of interesting. There are the other people who do well, obviously, are people who had a huge audience before they came to Substack. You know, if you're a writer for the New York Times or the Sunday Times, and then, you know, in the Sunday Times, oh, so-and-so's leaving, they've decided to set up a Substack. You know, you bring like 1 million viewers with you. And if half of them subscribe, I mean, the money's just ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, the market out there is difficult for everyone. And rather than just sit around moaning about it, I'm getting busy, which is what you've got to do. My poor girlfriend, because she doesn't understand. When I say, like, she'll come round and I'll be like, fucking hell, business is a struggle at the moment. She thinks that's over. Like, she thinks that's it. Like, I don't. You know, I've been in a lot worse situations than I am now. But she said to me, what would happen? And I said, well, if I had no money, I said I'd probably go back to England because I've got friends there that would put me up and, you know, give me a place to stay while I worked out how to make some money. So she suddenly thinks we're splitting up. Poor thing. But yeah, so just, you know, getting busy with things I can do, things I think I've got strengths at. Yeah, and there you go. I don't think Packer's about, unfortunately. He's probably down the boozer. Or I'd have grabbed him on, but it is a call-in. He'll be down the boozer, wouldn't he? What a shame. But Walsh, is the boy Walsh about? Hello, Glass. Glass, you want to be my co-host? Oh, got to go food shopping. Yeah. Yeah. Glass. Who else? I'll tell you what. 42, do you want to co-host? He's having his Saturday afternoon off. Oh, fuck it. Here we go. I'll just put the invite in the chat and we'll just get some people in. I'm knackered, people, but today worked out lovely. Out with a girlfriend's family yesterday. Not all of them, but about 30 of them came to Phnom Penh from Kampong Cham province. Like my girlfriend's 107-year-old grandmother sitting there doing a Slamalu. Amazing. And they all do it, stick it up there, all their teeth go red, they're buzzing on beetle nut. All the old dears after dinner. Bloke come along with one of those, bang, bang, bang. It was really funny. Loads of kids, you know, they're all pumping out children like nobody's business. There's no fear of, you know, they're breeding at replication rates. It's not called replication rates, is it? But you know what I mean. It's interesting stuff. Hello, John. Hello, Pags. Ludwig. Hello, Lee. Jessica. Yeah, look. Hello, Baz. Rags is lurking. He's visiting his mum. Well, you have a nice time with your mum. Maybe she can come on here. 42 reckons it's time to open a Galan stall. Well remembered on the Galan. You know what? That's not working to my skills, is it? That's not working to my skills. I reckon every time I show a Barang a Galan, they love it. They go, where the fuck do you get these? And I'm like, well, you can buy them all around Cambodia. People don't know about them. If you could get a little tiny little shop, you know, just in an alleyway, just pay rent for just in front of someone else's shop. And that happens a lot in Cambodia. If you've got a telephone shop or something, there'll be a bloke selling the old sugar cane. You know, they put it through a squeezer and you get like sugar cane syrup. It's so lovely though. It's like a litre of sugar. Just get that, you know, get three or four different versions. So you get in with the little beans in them, or the jackfruit, or you can invent some new ones, and you'd have it lovely. Fancy a Galan 42?
I think it sounds quite good about this time of the
day. I'll tell you what it is, right? So you know roughly what it is, but a bit of bamboo. So not the whole bit of bamboo, because they're roasted for about 6 hours. They're quite labour intensive, but they stuff them with sticky rice, which out of all the rices, and there's a lot of different rices, as I've learned. In England, it was like, what? Uncle Ben's and Basmati. But there's plenty of them. But sticky
American long grain.
Yeah. But making sticky rice, because the Cambodians eat with their hands, they just pick it up, roll it into a ball, and eat it. But if you get it wrong, it doesn't roll into a ball; it just sticks all over your fingers, and it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake! So they stuff the bamboo with sticky rice and a little bit of jackfruit, sometimes some red beans. Then they pour a little bit of sweetened coconut milk in there. Seal, plug up the end, bake it for about 7 hours. When it's done, pull off the green of the bamboo, and what you've got left is your Galan, and one of them is about $1. I'll tell you what, they're delicious. It's one of those foods, 42, which is more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, it does. That does actually sound quite good. And
they're really nice.
Yeah, and it comes in a take it with you container.
It does, and it's weird actually, because when you pull the sides down, it's a bit like a stiff banana. We've been streaming for 23 minutes, and I actually got to stiff banana. But what I mean is, they peel down, and the actual Galan quite phallically sort of remains erect. It remains erect, so you can break off bite-sized pieces. There you go. I'll tell you what though, 42, if you were to set up a little stall in Soho selling Galan, £8 a pop, which is what people pay for a cup of tea in Soho these days, you know, you'd make an absolute fortune. But where would you make them? Where would you get the bamboo? Any bamboo grown where you live?
No. We're quite short on bamboo.
You know, bamboo grows about 4 inches a day.
Yes, it does.
Like long. That's ridiculous. You could almost see that growing if you like sat there.
Oh,
you couldn't, could you?
Oh, it will also grow up through things that are on the ground. So, like if you've got somebody tied to the ground and bamboo planted beneath them, that bamboo will make its way through the body and up to
now
the
you're
arm.
telling me that because you've read somewhere that they've done some torture, haven't they? That sounds like a torture thing. That's got Vietnam War all over it.
Yeah, I think it was actually the Japanese.
Yeah, well, I don't like to stereotype people. I bet they sharpen off the top of the bamboo, lay you down, pin you down. Oh my days! What a way!
They tied them down whenever there was not. They tied them down whenever there was nothing showing.
Oh, so they didn't. You don't know.
Yeah, you just know you're secured this thing.
So you're just thinking, oh, I'm tied down, and then after a couple of hours, you're like, oh, hang on a minute, is that like a cockroach or something? And a couple of hours later, you go, fucking hell. And then 4 hours later, you're like it's like the aliens going.
Yeah, I actually seen it on an episode of Mythbusters.
I thought you were going to say Tenko.
No, no, Mythbusters. So whether or not it's 100% true is dubious, but the bamboo did grow through their gelatine body type thing that they had put there.
Well, the thing about this would be my one thing that perhaps might question it is it assumes that bamboo doesn't require light to grow. No, it might not, because it is a low plant or whatever it is in the sort of jungle canopy, isn't it? It's not, bamboo isn't. Oh, actually, it is actually. It grows really tall. Let's see if we can find that Mythbusters, shall we? Let's find out if we can torture people by growing bamboo through them.
Oh. You've done some tangents, but I seem I have caused quite the tangent.
Yeah. Well, in fact, oh, God, there's some idiots. Oh, right, if you're trigger warning, what I've just seen looks really unpleasant. Let me see how big this channel is before. This is the Mythbusters. It's Mythbusters Bamboo Torture Method Revisited. But he's only got 1,000 subs and it's only had 6K views, so we should be all right. And check out the AI already. Ridiculous. You can tell immediately, can't you? Welcome to the Torture Bamboo Revisited. Here we go, people. Let's see whether 42 is lying. 42, what do I do? What do I do? Open.
I would open that on a Chrome tab.
Chrome tab.
Present. Share.
Present. Arms. Sorry,
I'll give you all your Chrome tabs. Pick the one then. Put that up.
There we go. I'll get shot of me and you for a minute. You'll still be here, but yeah, there you go. Here we go then, people. The short looked terrible, but the thumbnail looked hideous, but you know, that's what thumbnails do. Let me know if there's an echo, and if there is, I'll mute myself, but I don't think I actually need to. Let me know you can hear it, of course.
Welcome to Garden Bamboo Plants YouTube channel. Have you ever heard of the horrifying practice of bamboo torture method?
Yeah, 42 told me about it about 5 minutes ago.
In this video, we'll uncover the story of this gruesome technique and find out whether it's just a myth or a terrifying reality. Despite bamboo's reputation for being strong, durable, and beautiful, it has...
Well, here's the other weird thing, of course, 42 and everyone in the chat. In Asia, they use bamboo for scaffolding.
Yep.
Years ago, I was thinking of setting up a business doing that in England, because the amount of petrol you'd save, you know, driving the stuff around. I mean, bamboo weighs a lot less than fucking metal, and just putting it up would be quicker, you know, easier. But unfortunately, the West is a bureaucratic nightmare, and they would, it wasn't a go.
We've got these rules and regulations about scaffolding because we don't want it coming down on top of everybody.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It doesn't in Asia. You know, they've made some of the tallest buildings in the world using bamboo. You know, normal scaffolding falls down. Who was it told me had someone knocking at his door saying his neighbour's, someone's nicked his neighbour's bamboo, his neighbour's scaffolding? Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Let's get back to someone else's content.
Has also been linked to a horrific practice known as bamboo torture method. This method, which involves taking advantage of bamboo's rapid growth to inflict excruciating pain and even death, has been documented in various historical accounts, particularly during the Second World War. Bamboo's rapid growth, reaching up to 25 millimeters or an inch per hour, makes it sharp.
Fuck me, did you know it was that quick? An inch per hour?
Yep.
Then why did you agree with me when I said 4 inches a day?
Well, because I've forgotten.
Well, what you should have said is, well, that is 4 inches a day and more.
Yeah.
4, 8, 12. Yeah, that's insane, man. But I think it needs light, because why doesn't it go sideways? That's what's going to be the downfall of this. Unless it pierces through the body because it's looking for light. But then why doesn't it go sideways? If you just sort of arched your back a bit, it would grow sideways. Is bamboo genetically programmed to know up? My horticultural skills showing themselves to be limited there.
Up enough to pierce through skin.
Sorry, go on.
Have you ever seen bamboo growing sideways?
The old
doesn't-
sideways bamboo
Yeah.
farms of Kampuchea, you mean?
Yeah, like because it,
Yeah.
it doesn't get branches that grow out the side like a tree does.
It does not. You're right. But that's because it isn't covered from, it hasn't got a body protecting it from light. Latus says it's phytotropic. So does that mean it grows without light, Latus? I assume it does. Here we go.
This unique feature has made it a weapon of choice for cruel people who want to inflict maximum pain.
Oh, don't worry about the firebombing of Japan. Don't worry about the atomic weapons. No, the cruel people of Asia. If you haven't got guns, you work with what you've got. It's fucking war. That's ridiculous.
Pain. During World War II, Japanese soldiers used bamboo torture against Allied prisoners.
42. Did you see that? I've assumed that they're laying on the floor.
This unique feature has made it a weapon of choice for cruel people who want to inflict maximum pain. During World War
See that? You've got a bit of space there. Let me get rid of Latus's message so it will know up. Would you have that painting on your bedroom wall?
No. What I have on my bedroom wall is the Pulp Fiction Banksy mural.
Okay.
With Samuel L. Jackson and John
I know the one
Travolta.
like a student might put on their bedroom wall.
Yeah, with bananas instead of pistols.
Okay, let's move on.
War II, Japanese soldiers used bamboo torture against Allied prisoners of war, especially Americans and Filipinos. Victims were tied to bamboo shoots and were forced to endure the excruciating pain as the plant grew through their body.
That's an amazing painting. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like a crime noir cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing. You know, those artists knocked those up in like a couple of hours. They were just like, that was their day job. Just bab, that'll do. Like you or me would sketch with a pen. They just get out there. I imagine that's gouache or watercolor, probably gouache.
Yeah.
Just bossed it up.
Did they not have MidJourmey?
They did, but it got so advanced, they ended up going back in time.
Yeah. Oh, Emma G has just reminded me there is actually a picture of you on my bedroom wall.
I don't know what to think
yeah.
about
Oh, Emma G's on the other half of it, but it was one of the thumbnails.
Oh, you got one printed out. The one where, oh, how lovely is that?
Yeah.
Because Emma was on it. I mean, you were kipping the other day, but look at her. Look at your missus.
She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
42, can I have sex with her?
No.
I suppose that's fair enough.
Yeah. The other thing is, you're probably asking the wrong person. You need to ask her.
No. That's what you make. That's the mistake you make, you see, because given the time and the right location, that's nearly the lyrics to Only Fools and Horses.
No income tax, no VAT.
There you go. No, it was Minder. That's what I was singing.
Yes. Yes, that is right.
The wrong location. I've got a good idea. Just you keep me near. Go on, 42. Next bit.
I'll be so good for you.
I'll be so good for you.
Yes,
I'm gonna love ya.
Love you like you want me
to. I'll do anything for you. I'll be so good for you. Hello, Arthur. Where's Terry? Amazing.
Yeah, right. Let's push that lamppost back up straight.
That's blown my mind, but you're going to have to explain that to me.
Oh, at the start of Mander, there's a picture with it's either a bent lamppost or a bent poster or something. And Arthur and Terry are like pretending to push it back up straight.
Okay, in the credits, amazing.
Yeah.
I remember in the Grange Hill in the Grange Hill credits, there's a bit like you know, bang dang 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 dang, you know, the Grange Hill music.
Yep.
And there's a bit where a kid like opens his desk and reads a comic, and the teacher comes along and sort of throttles him with something. And then there's a bit where there's a sausage on a fork.
Yes.
You know that bit?
Yes,
and
somebody's
weirdly,
getting the teacher's giving somebody an extra sausage.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's sort of like there's a plate of food on the sort of table, and then there's another sausage on a fork. But just as it comes into shot, me and my brother always used to go sausage in the dinner, ba da da da, because it fits the music. It's quite weird. So you've got the sausage, you've got the lamppost in the scrapyard, and I've got the sausage in the dinner. It's lovely to make connections like that.
Causing unbearable suffering and leading to a slow and agonizing death. The horrifying accounts of bamboo torture, mentioned in history books and personal stories, sent shivers down the spines of anyone who dared to imagine.
This is such tedious content. Right, here's actual Mythbusters where if you're a vegan or something, you're probably not going to like this. That looks like a half a cow or something. So let's have a look at this. This is where I might get yeeted because this is an actual successful channel.
Adam Savage embarked on a risky experiment to find out if bamboo torture was a real horror or just a gruesome story. Their research started with a careful study of...
In fairness, a gruesome story is, I can't remember the other thing he said, but it is one.
The force needed to pierce pig skin, which is similar to human flesh. Using a special...
Fucking hell, that was a big needle.
tool, they discovered that bamboo can exert a force of up to 4.3 kilograms.
Shit! Nearly 4.5 kilos. Yeah.
Far surpassing the required amount for piercing. Determined to expand their findings, Jamie and Adam created a life-size dummy made of gel, which mimics the structure of the human body. They placed the dummy on top of bamboo shoots and watched in suspense.
Hang on a minute, people. Hang on a minute. See what you done, Packer?
What did I do?
Got me lumbered with this lunatic. I sent you the link anyway. Don't worry, I'll make my excuses and we'll get shot of him in a minute and get the real person back in the hot seat.
Well, I do have to go and meet
I'm so glad you said that, because that makes things a lot easier. 42, can I just say thank you very much for stepping in though and saving the day?
Not a problem. Not a problem.
42.
Can you tell Emma that I like her a lot?
Yeah, I think she knows.
Only joking. Well, no, I'm not joking. I do like her a lot, but you know what I mean. Look after yourself, 42. Thank you, mate.
Yes, not a problem.
Have you got anything you want to promote?
Oh, the Justice Kane album has just landed on.
I can't believe he fell for it. I can't believe he fell for it. Come back on, 42. Only breaking your balls. Come on, I want to know about it. It's not fair to do it to. He doesn't want to come on now. Look. Please come back on. You made me feel bad. Ian Marr said, "Root Pat Boot." Yeah, look. I'll put the link in the chat again. 42. So why were you late then?
I didn't know you was on. I was busy doing something else.
I'm not. I don't want to hear that. I sent the missus an email.
When was that?
She was out. She was in Lincoln.
How near to Lincoln do you live?
Half hour in a motor.
There you go. Hello, 42. Sorry, mate. Go on. Yep. You've got your new album.
Yep. 1 second.
What? How many songs have you got now? I've only heard 2.
Right. I think there's 10 tracks on the album, and there are 3 that I was involved in. So that album has now hit on Apple Music, Spotify.
Hang on, did you say hit? Did you say it's hit on Apple Music?
Yes.
Is it dropped on
It's
Spotify?
dropped. It's landed. It's now available.
Incredible. So how can people hear that?
If you go to Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, and type in Justice Kane.
Is that Kayane?
Kane, Kane, like a stick. Kane as in like a stick.
Paco, how do you reckon that's spelled based on that information that he just provided?
It is Kane.
Kane.
Yeah.
K-A. Oh, K, but a stick is C-A-N-E.
Yes, it is.
There, people, if you go to Spotify or Apple Music, I suppose it's on all of them, innit? iTunes and all that, and type in Justice Kane, spelt justice as in justice, and Kane, and we've played the 2 tracks that 42's in on this channel, and they're an absolute blast. So go and give it a listen, give it an upvote, and help out a scrub.
Are you on tonight, 42?
Yes.
Oh, fucking hell, what's going on here? Anything else? Getting married or anything?
No. Oh, God, no. Marky,
all right.
Oh,
did you hear that, Emma? Did you hear that, Emma?
The album's called...
A little bit of wedding.
The album's called Mercury is Rising.
What's that? The album's called You Were Getting Divorced Before You Got Married.
Mercury is Rising. No, I've done that being divorced thing once, and...
Yeah, no, fair point, fair point.
Yeah,
it's called Mercury is Rising, people. Justice Kane. Do help us scrub out. It will take you 5 minutes to go over there, download it or listen to it, and just give it an upvote. And you know, if half of the scrubs watching this now done it, social proof matters. When people go to something, if it's got no likes or no downloads, they tend not to download or like it. But when things have, this is why I always literally beg people to leave comments on my Substack, because then when people go there and there's 40 comments, they read it. And that the numbers are in on that, people. I see how it works. Nice one, 42. Good luck with that. Next time, when you got a bit, you said you got to go, but next time, well, get the link to me or something, and I'll pop it in the thing. If you can get it in the comments now, I can get it in the chat. But if you've got a rush,
give us one moment.
You can have one. Little Bullet has dropped a 2-bit in. Hey, boss, Hoyt. Oh, hello, Bullet. Did you see that Hoyt in Norwegian means high, but it also means loud? So who knows? I'll put it in the Scrubs lifeboat. Scory has been on the firm for 26 months. Nice one, Scozza.
All right. I have stuck the link in the private chat.
There you go. For Spotify. Copy link address. All right, 42. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, mate. Thanks for coming in and holding the fort.
No problem. Leaders, people.
Hello, mate.
Bye.
Cheers, 42.
Oh, hang on. What's happening? Did you have something to say to him?
I just said cheers, that's all.
You're not on form, man. What's happening?
What's the matter? What?
I was projecting. I don't know what's going on. My head just ain't working. I went to bed at 7 yesterday morning. 7.
I went to bed early last night.
What's early for you?
I was in bed by 12:30.
Why is it? What, 12:30 is early for you? Is it?
Yeah, I normally go to bed about 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock.
What do you do in those hours? I imagine the missus and the youngster are kept. So what do you do in those, like, midnight to 3?
Oh, the missus goes to bed at 8:30. The boy goes to bed at 10:30.
Sit there playing with them cucks.
I do what, sorry?
You sit there playing with them cucks.
I don't
know what
I mean.
Playing with them cucks and your fucking balls. It's an old jerk. Do you remember the Jerky Boys, the original phone pranksters? They had a character called Frank Rizzo, and he was like a sort of a Joe Pesci parody. I'm going to play a bit. Actually,
I don't know what you're on about. I've never seen him.
It's going back to like the 80s, I think, or 90s at most. We never found out about bamboo torture, but quite frankly, I was just using it to shut 42 up. What's it called? Jerky Boys. But this is going to embarrass me now, because when it first come out, the quality is terrible. But they were the original sort of phone pranksters. And Frank Rizzo, he just sort of rings up car mechanics and he's like, "You going to fix my fucking car?" They're like, "Sorry, who is this? Don't you ask who this is. Who the fuck is that? What are you doing? You playing with them cocks or what?" Let me see if I can. Yeah, Frank Rizzo. Now, 2014. Never was it that late. Although I must admit, 85 to about 2014 was a bit of a blur for me. We might get yeeted here, people, but if you've never heard the Jerky Boys, it's not for everyone. This could really drop badly because, you know, it's not. The quality of the recording's terrible, but some of his turns of phrase are remarkable. Here we go. So this is the Frank Rizzo character.
Michelle speaking. How can I help you?
Michelle, how you doing? Is Rob in today?
I'm sorry?
Rob, who's in there today? Who's in the shop?
Trish?
Trish is there. Well, who's in the back? Who's working the, where's the mechanic?
How can I help you?
Is this the auto body?
We do auto repair.
Yeah, that's right. I'm looking for Bob. He did some of the work on I get that rack and pinion steering, and the damn thing fell apart. It blew out yesterday.
Wait, you had work done here?
Yeah, Bob. He did some of that rack and pinion steering there. Next thing I know, I'm driving down the road, and the thing comes through the freaking dashboard and takes off half my chin. I don't know. He must.
Anybody named Bob?
Well, who's back there?
Let me see if I can grab Trish. Maybe she can help.
No. I don't need Trish. Look. I'm just saying. Can I bring it back in today?
What is your last name?
Rizzo. R-I-Z-Z-O.
Give me 1 second, okay?
Right.
Just 1 second. This is Trish. How can I help you?
Yeah. Hiya, honey. Trish. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was just telling her about that old rack and pinion there. That thing popped out of the hood there, came through the dashboard, and caught me in the chin. Pretty good.
Pretty sure it can't pop out of the dashboard.
No, well, it didn't. It came flying through up underneath the hood there, and right through the firewall. Got me right in the face. I was just wondering if I could get it back in there, for tomorrow or something like that. You guys could put it back in.
It's almost like there's no jokes there. I'm thinking that's doing nothing for you, is it, Packer?
I quite like Trish. She was having none of it.
Yeah, that's what
looked straight through that.
Yeah, and as soon as she laughed, it lost its kind of. Yeah, then it's just playing, isn't it?
Back to the question. Normally, in the stupid hours of the night, I watch films or trawl YouTube.
Films.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got Prime and Disney and Netflix and
play with them.
Kind of thing. No.
Give me a 1 in the chat if you heard of the Jerky Boys back in the day and you enjoyed it. There you go. Look, Crow remembers the Jerky Boys. Lee says it's Jimmy. It really is as well. It really does sound like him. Yeah, that was a good line, wasn't it? I'll tell you what, there are funnier ones than that. I just played the first one I could find. Right, hang on. Let me see if I can find another Frank. Frank Rizzo's the best character. I think we should give it another pop. Hang on.
The missus said to tell you she was in Lincoln Bra shopping.
Your missus just told you to tell me she was buying. What was that bit?
She said that's why I was late.
I mean, are they massive cannons?
Yeah.
What else? Yeah.
What size? 38G. 38G.
Fucking hell, man. You know what? When we went out yesterday at this restaurant.
Hang on, go like this. That's what they look like.
What? Hang on, go on, do it again. Put glasses on them. I was in there and we had these two girls come along to serve us. They both looked about the same age. Excuse me, people. They both looked about the same age, but one of them had massive tits, like massive. Not G, but they were big boobs for like a 20-year-old. And the girl next to her was roughly the same age, A cup, you know, maybe a 32A, which is, I think I've got bigger tits than that. And I just thought that must be hard to be a girl, you know, and, you know, your cock is tucked away for the most part, isn't it? We don't walk around with men having, you know, if you've got one of my girlfriends told me she knew a bloke whose cock, when it was, he fucked her, she said it was about 1.5 inches hard. And he fucked her doggy style, and she said she couldn't feel it. She said nothing was happening. And I was, that was my response. And I said, what did you do? She said, this was her exact words. I just played along. Like, he must have been sort of fucking her cheeks, because there's a fair amount of sort of distance before you get to the prize, isn't there? And his legs would have been preventing him. And the same girl told me that once, and they weren't teenagers, like mid-20s, she's met this bloke in a bar and they've had a few drinks and he said, should we go outside, smoke a joint or something stupid? And they've gone outside and they've started snogging, and then he went to her, I've just come in my pants. Girls have to put up with some weird shit, man. I mean, but that is ridiculous, isn't it? She told me.
Yeah, I think if I was endowed like that, I don't think I could just. I think I'd have to be in a relationship before I got that out. You know what I mean? I wouldn't.
It's a life ruiner, isn't it? I think you just take sex off the table. That's not my strong point. That's suicidal, isn't it? Listen to this. I had a mate. He had a motorbike accident, and it snapped his penis. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but you know the bit that makes your penis get hard? It's a spongiform bit that runs along the bottom, and it fills up with blood. So I think what happened is that got torn, and so he couldn't get an erection. And to this day, it's like it's got like a sort of a massive angle on it, so it ain't straight, and the second bit doesn't get hard. Oh. So when he gets an erection, he's got like a back end throbber and a front end sort of lopper. I mean, they had to inject him with this sort of like anti-Viagra, like the opposite of Viagra, for 2 years while they were trying to get it working again, because if he got an erection, every time he got an erection, it damaged the surgery.
Oh.
Any women, look at John Palmer, always.
Yeah. He's enjoying this conversation more than I am. I'm wincing a little bit.
Passionate man there. Willow says, why was he riding his motorbike with a hard-on? You know what? That's an interesting question, actually. Although, what I don't think it was a motorbike. It was a bicycle courier. But I've ridden a bike, and occasionally I'll get an erection because of the seat. You know, you're a little bit, you know. John's put 3 in. John thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. James Angel says, little dicks try to make a lot of money. You want to translate that, Packer, or should we just move on?
Little dicks try to make a lot of money.
Toffee,
yeah, no, I don't want to have a go at that.
No. Oh, that's why I passed it on to you. Cock injuries is the worst subject in the world.
Are you wincing as well, Toffee? Because that wasn't doing me any good whatsoever.
Ladies in the chat, have you hello Sal, how are you, love? Ladies in the chat, have you encountered some strange male genitalia in your years that you'll be prepared to share a few details in? Don't look at your missus back at that.
She's shaking her head. No.
Eleanor says, hello, Ella, by the way. I don't know. I had the measurements of Margot Fontaine, the ballerina, 17-inch waist. But, and how big were your... what was your upper measurement?
There you go.
Did you really have a... See, this is the thing with my missus. She's got a tiny little waist because she's a gym teacher, so that's what it's all about. But she's got massive ass, and she's got boobs have grown more in her 20s. I didn't think that happened. I thought you went through it, but it might be because her waist has got smaller, so the illusion. But I think she's about 34, but she's a double D, so you get that. It's the cup size rather than the size, isn't it? But Packer, you know my point though. The point I'm making is men get to walk around and it's all discreet. Yes. Whereas if you're a flat-chested woman, I suppose some men like it, but I suppose men who like that, there's a sort of a somewhat problematic.
Well, this is the kicker, Chris.
Reason why they like it. Do you know what I mean?
Don't overly do it for me. To be fair, I'm not bothered.
You're not a tit man.
No.
You've got 36 G tits, and you're not.
No.
Well, if they're not going to use, you know.
Oh, I think yeah. They don't go to waste, Chris. I'm not gonna, I don't ignore them.
Imagine, I'll put them away, love. We're trying to have sex. Hello, weatherman. Those bumpy roads can involuntarily cause erections for me. I'm boning up all the time, weatherman. I mean, I'd be more worried if it didn't. My missus hates it, mostly when I'm walking, because I'm walking, and obviously you're getting your trousers.
Keep slapping on your knees, doesn't it?
Oh, there you go. With the old Birkenstocks, I tend to tap the glands, and there you go. Barney Rubble said 850 cc's between my legs, vroom, vroom. I mean, it's kind of connected to what we're talking about.
I think you meant CMs.
I don't know what was going on with this lot. Hello, Charlie. Vibrating, instigated. Yeah, it's like so. Jessica says, I encountered small and it's just awkward. I've also encountered almost too big for me. Well, there's a problem. Well spotted, Bagger. I nearly missed that. Jessica, you said so much. Let me get some water, people. I won't be a second. I'm sure Pack will say nothing while I'm gone.
Yeah, nice one, Jess. Say it without saying it. Hey.
That was amazing. But I've had women tell me that they've like had one night stands and it's just too long, and the problem is it bangs on the cervix, but there's no connection of the mons pubis or the pubis mondis. I can never remember. So there's no clitoral stimulation. And I remember seeing in one of those old, before the internet, those sort of sex toy mags, and it was like a donut for people like that. You put it over your cock so that it doesn't go all the way in. That's sexy. Hello, love. I've got a massive cock, but it's too big. So here's a little donut. I washed it since the last bird, I think. Actually, maybe not. Cro-Magnon says, was dating all through HS?
High school.
There you go. Nice one. Engaged to a guy with a micro. Didn't realise it at the time because it was like the first one. What kind of size are we talking? What's micro? I mean, it's the bird who told me. She said it was literally about that big. Hard though. That was it. He was ready to go. Bullet said, "Hello, Bullet. I knew a bloke whose party piece was to dangle his soft pecker in a tall pint glass, and it wrapped around the bottom."
Yeah, I knew a lad. He just used to flop it out and then pull his pockets inside out to do an elephant, and it was quite an impressive elephant.
It's weird, isn't it, man? It's weird. I mean, I think I've got an over. It's more than average, but it ain't like massive. I haven't got a massive P. Not that you'd the one that you'd probably think I have, because I'm that sort of bloke. Bullet, nice one for the lady Godiva. When I go to, I'm glad you got that. I'm glad you laughed at that, Backer. When I go,
I've never actually considered the size of your knob, Chris.
Well, you just did in saying
that.
Yeah,
now I thought about it. Thanks.
There you go. When I go to a fancy dress party, I throw mine over my shoulder and go as a petrol. Oh, come on. They're digging out the dad jokes, Bullet. But fair play. Fair play. Well, I think, should we move away from genitals?
Yeah.
Alex Grismo says, I'm a bloke, though. So what did Alex Grismo say before? Lee says, are tits just fat? No, not at all. No. They are not fat. You know, a woman with massive tits can go on a diet and still have massive tits. There's a name for it, isn't there? What did Ray? Yeah, there's mammary glands, but there's something else that's not just fat. I mean, if you're a woman with small tits and you put on weight, I mean, I feel sorry for those women who are really big but have got no tits. That's a shocker of a look. But again, there's a man out there or men out there that like that look. So it's, whatever you want.
Yeah, that wouldn't bother me.
That wouldn't bother you?
No. I'm an arse man.
What, like an anus man?
No.
I knew it wasn't. I just thought that was hilarious to say. What, you like a zero?
I was about to say, I used to be a bum boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is quite funny. So when Alexander said I'm a bloke, though, his first thing, my boobs got bigger when I hit 40, and then two comments later, I'm a bloke, though. Yeah, mine didn't until I was about 50. And when I started weightlifting again. And, the problem is to get the upper part of your chest out, it's like almost impossible without roids, really. When I saw young Harry, when he came around my house, he was absolutely ripped to fuck, like just solid. No fat on him or nothing. But I said, you haven't got that sort of plate armor look. He said, and he knew about it. He said, yeah, you can't really get that without roids. So whenever you see those blokes who've got that, you know what I mean? I'm not going to look for pictures of naked men on my internet. Jessica says, I'm an AB cup, so I have to make up for it with thighs and hips.
There you go, that's fine.
I think weirdly, I saw a post on Twitter today and it had a picture of Britney Spears in her prime, right, in the 80s, late 80s. And she said, most people don't know what us girls went through in the 80s when this was called fat. And what's his name? Semiagog answered it. And I thought, yeah, what a ridiculous thing to say, because that's just kids being shitty to each other. Are you fat? Are you a little bit fat? Then you're going to get called fat. Are you a little bit thin? You're going to get called skinny. Do you smell just a little bit? You're a tramp. Are you tall? You fucking lamppost, you lighthouse. Kids will find any slight distinguisher, and we're all different, and they'll call you that. Everyone got called that. But this sort of, oh, you know, we went through this. Britney Spears wasn't considered fat. She was considered a fucking global sex symbol. Well, you know, that's just that. Those two comments don't add up. I mean, I'm not saying. Yeah. I think
she did have a nice arse, though, Britney.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because think about her first sort of hit. You know, she was dressed as a schoolgirl. And it was a very sexy song. Hit me, baby, one more time. Or
I didn't take any notice of her till she done that one. Toxic. I noticed the video to that.
Well, you didn't notice the video to Hit Me, Baby?
Well, I don't remember it, but I didn't, you know, didn't do anything for me.
Well, it did for the rest of the planet, and that's the thing. It's a strange one, isn't it? I was talking to Mumford about this the other day, and it's a very challenging and delicate conversation because are there any other animals that don't breed once they reach sexual maturity? You know, like some women are menstruating like 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old. But our culture says that isn't right. I don't fuck kids, by the way. I just get that in there. But we also have this thing. You can go onto Google and type in sexy schoolgirl. There's loads of pictures, and it's just considered all right. But then on the other hand, if you said, oh, I drove past the school the other day, there was some right sorts in the playground, you'd rightly get locked up. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Amazon will sell you a sexy schoolgirl outfit. So there's a disconnect there that isn't disconnected. Do you know what I mean?
It's not a complete disconnect because they don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Don't get anywhere near as long as they should do they? And a lot of them just walk out of it again. Like they, you know. I mean, after the gangs in this country, they got about 4 years each, and they've done it, you know, hundreds of times. They got about 4 years or 6 years, and they was out in 2 or 3.
They don't lock them up for a while for that long, do they? You know what? The most harsh sentences are financial fraud. That's the one they. Yeah, weird, isn't it? You can get up to all sorts of things that ruins people's lives, traumatizes children, but you fucking defraud the HMRC and you're going away, mate. It's a fucked up world, man. It's a really strange place. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Hello, Barrett Zippo. Nice to see you. Humans, eh? When I crashed my bike, there was a serious dent in the tank at the testicular area. I was so proud telling the mechanic that my balls actually dented Japanese steel. Just blokes are just still kids really in the playground. I've got my balls dented my petrol tank that's so big and hard. It's a weird one, isn't it, Packer? What do you make of this? Like, so blokes, like already in this chat, people have talked about how big their cocks are, right? Most of the women have said that they've actually got small breasts. They haven't bragged about it. You know, the girls who've commented said that they've had smaller breasts. But
my missus bragged.
But yeah, fair point. But blokes don't really brag about having big balls. You say it as a joke more, didn't you? But can you imagine actually chatting to a woman and going, I've got balls like fucking grapefruits, love.
Yeah, they just make your cock look small though, wouldn't they?
It's just a weird thing that you know, I've got massive nuts. My ball sack is like a fucking supermarket sweep round Waitrose. It hangs down between my ankles. You'll love it. Oh, Packer, as you've got older, is your ball sack sort of has it what am I trying to say? It's like the casing, the leather, the chamois casing, the silk purse, yeah, has sort of dropped a bit. It's got like, I've got like a little bit at the bottom that sort of surplus to requirements. I can pull it over the whole meat and veg, and it looks like a little tortoise. And then if I get my girlfriend to lick it, the head comes out because. I wish I could show you, like not you personally. I mean, like well, that's even weirder. No, not you personally, like everyone.
Oh, right. You want to show everyone else, but not me. Is that what you're saying?
Eleanor says micro is titchy. Eleanor, are you talking? Yeah, look, I've got a tape measure here sent to me by the lovely Mrs. Me in it. So that's between my fingers is 2 inches. Are you talking that big, or are you talking inch and a half? Oh,
I read a thing once where 2 inches or more is all right, is useful. 2 inches or less is just not enough.
Well, it's
from a woman's point of view.
I can't imagine that. My missus loves my massive cock. She says it hurts her. She says it scares her. And I say to her, what do you want me to do? Go and get it cut down? And she says, no, I love it. And I go, yeah. Sometimes when we have sex, she hides in the corner of the room under the duvet. Like shaking. Oh, there's a little, and maybe change the subject.
He's had his hair cut, look. Did you see this the other day?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, because he's only on yesterday, wasn't you?
Oh, was it yesterday or the day before?
I think it might be the day before.
Yeah, I was out with the family yesterday. Good times. Johnny Bondon used to balance a pint on his dick. Who the fuck is Johnny Bondon?
Oh, Willow's just put something funny in the chat. 2 inches or less, and you're a woman bodybuilder.
Let me find it. 2 inches or less. They're weird people, aren't they? Those proper like bodybuilders who spray paint themselves brown and apparently, yeah. Manny Moo's dad's cock is bigger than my dad's. Well, my dad's cock is fucking long been. He ain't got one. He's dead. Not a very nice thing to say, John. James says inch and a half is titchy. Yeah, I think that's tiny. Hey, there you go. That's what my missus is like. Jess says, ha ha ha, the intimidating ones are the best.
Almost.
Oh, yeah, almost. But as says the young Packer is hearing all this.
He's out of the room now. He's gone back upstairs. He was only in here for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you would have said shut up if he was on the sofa. 2 inches or less, and it's called a clitoris. Right, Eleanor. Yep, I've read about these micro penis. Discussed it with my mate Justin. Come on, surely that ain't his real name. You can't discuss micro penises with someone who's called Justin. He can't bear the thought, and he's a hetero champion shagger. I don't understand. Oh, no, he's back again. You see?
He's doing it on purpose now.
Yeah. Otto says that 51.
I think he means 5.5.
Oh, well,
means 5.5, not 51 or 2.
No, 51 divided by 2, what, 25? 25 inches, is that fucking hell? No, I've got a fair amount more than that. I'm just on 7 on a good day. Baz says, poor ship rope me. I'm going to put that down to English not being your first language there, Baz, and move on quickly. Bullet says, hello, boss. Hoy all. Bullet comes in again. When I go, oh, no, we've had that one. Oh, there you go. I wondered why I'd have cut on more. Bullet drops another $5. Get the grift going, people. Don't leave it to the usual suspects. Well, do what you want, obviously. Bullet, if you want to see something big, look up historical figures, giant nose. It will blow your mind. Thomas held the Guinness World Record. Nice one, Bullet. Well, I'll look that up right now. Hang on. Thomas. Hang on. Historical figures. Am I going to get in trouble here? Are you setting me up for something? All right. Yes. Before I look at this, is it a painting of a French fellow? And it's like, well, obviously it would be a big nose. Historical figures, giant nose. And before we have a look at that, Mr. Wurst, Trinks aus auf me es Klemplotter. Parker, you want to have a pop at that?
No.
Come on, we can work it out. We can work it out. We can work it out. Come on. Life is better. Trinks aus auf me es Klemplotter. I reckon Lotta. I reckon that's. I haven't got a clue.
Lot or big.
Kremp. Me es Kremp. I can't. I don't. I haven't got a grasp of anything. That right. Historical figures. Giant nose. I'm going to get caught out here. Oh yeah, Thomas Vedders. The 18th century. I'll show you it, people. Don't worry. But it's going to be a painting because. Oh my God.
Buzz said ship rope. Use your imagination.
Now, I don't know whether it's... This says this is a photo, but this is from the 18th century. So it's just a pin. Take care, 42. Have a good weekend, mate. Good to talk to you. Yeah, I'll show you what... I mean, I imagine this is obviously a reconstruction because I don't think they had this kind of quality photography. Cheers, Hands and Bullet, for those donations. But, right, I've got a question for you all, people, and I would like your answers. I wonder if I can put a poll up. That was a terrible turn of phrase, considering. Anyway, have a look at this bush. Now, people, serious question. Well, as serious as it can get. Hello, Lulu. Would you rather, and you've got to have one of them, right? Would you rather have that beak there or a micro penis? Right, so in the chat you put nose or micro. What's it going to be? Nose, and it's that nose, by the way, or micro? Hello, Jer.
Lulu said it, Chris. Look.
Hello, Jer. Lovely to see you. There you go. Well, I was just thinking, when imagine having the pair of them. And when the woman says, look at the size of that, you go, well, it's compensating for something else. Lovely to see Jer on the phone. So, yeah, let's see what people are saying. So,
Otto says micro.
Would prefer the micro. JP wants the beak. Hello, VC. Would have the small one. This is interesting. I mean,
you could have the nose operated on to make it smaller, couldn't you? You can't go the other way around.
Interesting angle. Oh, that I was about to say, what's the criteria for making that decision? Resisting the Lie says micro, baby, for me. Like, hell no. I'm not quite sure what it means, but I like the meter of it. No, Eleanor. Well, in fairness, Eleanor, you are a lady, so that's In a way, you're exempt from this decision. Mr. Bontoft's on the firm. Hello, mate. Nigel, my business partner, lost the seed for all our Bitcoin. Yeah, it's the halving in April. Yeah, I mean, it ain't a massive amount of money, but in 3 years, when I see what the Bitcoin price is, it will be. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? It was nice of him to fill me in on that. I've lost the password. Well, that's all right. You got the seed, didn't you? Can't find it. So this is interesting. Barrett reckons you're... Yeah, well, clearly. I mean, the bird who told me she had the micro is one of the hottest birds I've ever met, so... It's interesting. Otto would go... So people really don't like the nose. Wolfie's gone down Packers Road.
Yeah.
Lartus is going to go into the gender reaffirming clinic and say, can you just swap these?
Get it grafted on.
Yeah, the problem is, Lartus, you're going to wake up with a pair of balls hanging over your mouth. You won't be able to say anything.
And the missus is going to say, have you finished? You say, no, I've just got a bit of a cold.
There you go. That is interesting, isn't it? Baz says that many male leaders had Roman noses. That is one element. It's so phallic though, that one, isn't it? It's not even just a big onk. It looks like a penis. Eleanor says there's no substitute for a penis. What a strange old stream this has been on a Saturday afternoon. Just joined in. Nice one, Jer.
Sorry about the subject.
Pardon?
The missus says she's sorry about the subject. She's taking the blame for that.
Well, I think I think rightly so as well. I mean, as long as I can palm it off as not being me. It was quite erotic though, hearing a real life girl say she's got massive cannons. I mean, I did. That bird I strangled and killed, she had massive tits. Like, her nipples touched the floor when she was laying down, you know. So she almost looked like she was flat until you realised that they were either side of her. Oh, they were incredible, actually. She come back to life. I suppose I should get that in.
I was waiting for you to finish that story for those people that hadn't heard it before.
Yeah. You know what? I nearly considered moving out to Spain with her. We discussed it. I just thought, you know, she was a lovely girl, could look after herself. She worked a clip joint. She was the hot bird with the rack that got the mugs in, who went downstairs and then got ripped off hundreds of pounds watching a 60-year-old woman get her beaver out and scare him out of the room. But I sort of fell for her for a bit, but I was in a phase in my life where I didn't want to get birded off. But sometimes I look back and think, that might have been nice. It had a bit of the. I think I've said this before. It had a bit of the. What's the movie? I can't even. I can't. See you later, Jessica. Jer says that YouTube keeps switching off the members. That's nice of them. Alien. Had a bit of the alien about it. No, Sexy Beast. You know him and his missus, and she's a salt. Is it? What's her name? The actress in Sexy Beast. And he lives out in Spain with her. It had a bit of that. That was my fantasy anyway. No, she's good stuff. She had a baby a couple of years ago.
I know I've seen it, but I was off my head at that point in my life, so I can't really remember it.
Good movie, actually. Good movie. Really entertaining.
Redmond, apparently.
That's it. Amanda Redmond. Quite a salt. A very sort of, not your typical salt, but a very attractive woman. She's very good in that as well. I'm going to put the invite in the chat if anyone wants to come in and join this Saturday afternoon ruination. What's the other actor in it who's brilliant in it? You've got lovely eyes. Are they real? What? No, cunt. You cunt know me. You fuck know me. What cunt? No. It's like, what? Amazing character. Hang on. We've been here before. This is Deja Ian. Ian, do us a favour and put your foot over the camera. No, there you go. You're all right. Ian, have you got a big willy?
Average. Never had any complaints, so.
Have you ever had anyone to complain, though? No. You're a virgin. Imagine Ian said he was a virgin. That'd be amazing.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I don't know why that makes me laugh suddenly. I lost my virginity. I lost my virginity really late. I was a late developer, though. Anyway, I went through puberty so late. But there was kids in my school just like
that. Talking about dicks. Yesterday it was George Michael. Today it's been about dicks. Don't understand this.
We have also talked about breasts and noses. It's not just dicks. Ian, you can feel free to talk about anything you want, mate. You know how it works around here. There you see. See? You want to stick with dicks.
Wow. That was strange.
I don't know what happened. What happened? JP is actually coming on. He's coming on to rip you out, Ian, hasn't he? All right, JP.
I doubt it.
What's the chance? Hello?
Oh, mate.
You're here.
I'm here. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm being told off for talking about penises.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I see you were laughing.
I love it.
John, if your mate had a micro penis, would you endlessly take the piss out of him?
You know I would.
That's what I asked. Like literally every day.
Come out of his bedroom because I'd be ripping him so hard.
John, what's it like in the Navy? This might sound like a weird question, but you've got a lot of men in a lot of cramped conditions, haven't you? So I imagine, you know, what am I trying to say? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Just describe your dream, Chris.
I can do that, but it would be candy charms forcing my girlfriend's head on my penis, and I know that that's my dream because it's what I think of every time my girlfriend's on it. John, what goes on? I mean, is there time, space, and or availability to sort of, you know, a bit of relief, or is it a bit of a? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can either sit in your bunk and close the curtain, or you can go up to the toilets and sit in the cubicle. There's always a wank mag behind one of the pipes in the toilets. Behind it, in every cubicle, yeah, there's a wank mag in every cubicle behind the pipes.
And proper dog-eared and some bastard.
Properly used up ones, yeah. Properly used up ones.
Does it ever get renewed? Do like the officers think, come on, we got to treat them with a bit more respect, you know?
When there's an inspection or whatever, they all get thrown in the bin, but then they all get replenished, like the toilet rolls. Replenished.
Will they be sent in? Like, will people request them to be sent, or are they bought like when you dock or something, or how do they get on the boat?
Yeah, they're bought when you get on the ships. On the like when you're in dock in Portsmouth or Plymouth, you get like the news van come round selling like I don't know, sweets, the newspaper, and you can buy them then every day. Buy them off them. It's buy one every day, and it just goes behind the toilet. Or you go whatever. If you're at sea, go ashore. You get all the really, really good ones in Europe.
Those Copenhagen old rags.
Oh.
John, how long were you at sea for? And by at sea, I mean not docking. What was your longest time at sea?
Probably about 2 months, I think.
Wow.
Was long.
When I see those monster storms at sea, where those boats seem to be going up and down like half a kilometre, I mean, have you ever been in a storm like that in a boat?
Loads. That's normal. That's
Wow.
That's either loads of fun, where you're jumping up and getting like 7 foot up in the air, hitting your head on the ceiling and coming down, or sliding around. Or
do you do that for fun, or is it just you've been caught out? They haven't signalled an alarm or something, and suddenly you just fly up in the.
Bit of both. It's a bit of both. You're either having a laugh and you're all jumping up and larking about, or you're trying to get to work or trying to get to the toilet and you're all over the place. Oh, you're sitting on the toilet. That's a I'm sitting on the toilet.
And you just suddenly hit the roof.
The water underneath you splashing out and going, oh, yeah, it's a nightmare, that one. Yeah, it's a well dodgy one. I've had a few of these, and you're sitting there green, and half the ship's in bed because you can't stand up because you're just puking everywhere.
It's not a question of being used to it. It's just too much for the body. It's just you're going up and down, and you're gonna puke.
Some people can handle it, and they like the old boys. They love it. They love it. Like pile of salt on their shoulder. You know what I mean? They love it.
Because
most of the ship will be, I've had enough of going to bed for a little while, and they'll be in bed all day, and that'd be it. Because it's so rough.
It looks terrifying. You know, just watching those videos scares the hell out of me. I'm gonna put one up. Don't worry, we can keep talking while I find one.
I couldn't stand it at all. I feel rough on the ferry to Mull.
John, sorry, Packer, carry on.
No, that was it. I was always going to say while you were looking, I ain't got sea legs at all.
Well, what I don't understand, because I don't understand how boats work, but why don't they get tipped over? I don't understand how they stay upright. I know that's really ignorant, but it's because I'm really ignorant around that.
You're asking the wrong fella. I ain't got a clue, mate. I ain't got a Scooby.
The great British military.
I got Scooby-Doo. I'd assume it's the way it's engineered, like the shape of it and that. But you have to close all the ships are designed in lots of different compartments. And of course, when you're either docking or coming out of dock, or when it gets really rough, you've got to close all the doors of all the compartments. So if you do get hit or something does happen, some of them compartments get filled with water. It doesn't get into the other rest of the ship.
Because that's what happened with the Titanic, innit? They said it was airtight, but it had wood on top of it, and it got in through the top. Apparently, I don't know whether watching the Hollywood movie counts as.
If you don't clip up, we call it. If you don't clip all the doors shut tight, and water gets in, and it go into another compartment, then another, and that'll make the ship sink.
What was that one with the? It might have been the Zeebrugge one. I don't know, but yeah, the one where they left the doors open.
That's it, yeah.
And the water got in, but it wasn't actually the water that sunk it. It was the fact that the water starts rocking, and because once it starts, then the boat starts. Am I confusing two
I don't know much about the Zebriga thing, to be honest with you. But yeah, that would make sense. If it's getting in there and it's throwing it all off and throwing it about, yeah.
John, was there ever an incident at sea where there'd just be a load of water come down where you're all sleeping, like in your quarters or whatever they're called?
No, not where we're sleeping, no. Not where we're sleeping, not inside the ship, no. No. I had a crash loads of times.
Another boat or ship, sorry.
Yeah. One time my old man was on board. He shit himself.
What, with you?
Yeah. Yeah, he come on, it was like fathers and sons at sea.
Wow.
They flew out and met us in Gibraltar and we sailed back home to Portsmouth. And he
bring your dad to all day.
Exactly. See how I lived for a week. He didn't believe me when I said I'm always drunk, but he certainly saw it.
So your father wasn't a naval man, wasn't a military man, so that's not
much like your old man.
Okay, that's interesting. So he literally shit himself, or he just got scared?
Pretty much, yeah. He Bay of Biscay we was, and must have been a new officer of the watch or something that was steering the ship. And he was like playing games with his super tanker. And I wasn't on the back at the time. I was actually sitting on the radar at the time, and he'd gone out the back to have a cigarette and was watching the water on the other ship. And the boys told me about it. My old man said to me, "When are we supposed to be that close then?" So one of the old boys down there dragged his fag, chucked it, and fucked off back in and went, "No, quick, get in here." Left the old man out there holding on. Great big wave coming, soaked him. I come out of like the ops room where I was, come down there. He was going up there all face down, going up for a shower. I just got wet out there. Just got in bed, didn't see him for 2 days.
Happy, I'm glad you enjoyed the trip, Dad. Nice one. But hang on, so you hit other boats?
Yeah. In Liverpool, we hit a tug.
What, like, so a big military ship hit a little sort of tugboat?
Yeah. I was hanging over the side with this great big bamboo fender thing, holding onto that on a rope, like making sure that the tug hit the fender, not made a hole in the ship. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
I remember, we were down, it might have been Portsmouth or somewhere like that, one of those naval places. And we've gone, it's like a housing estate, and we're driving around. Where's that echo coming from? Who's watching on YouTube? Oh, it's gone. We're driving around this housing estate, and we turn around the corner, and it must have been it was a boat, but it was just like fucking massive. Do you know what I mean? Just this massive lump of metal. And it just sort of gave me the fear. There's just something about the scale of those things that I don't fancy it, man. I don't know how you had the balls for it. Why did you sign up for the Navy, John?
I'd wanted to do it since I was a little boy.
You were proper up. Did you do Seeker?
All I ever wanted to do since I was a little boy, like 4 or 5, I wanted to be in the Navy. Because that's watching telly, like seeing the old World War II films and things like that. Yeah. I thought it was going to be like that. All through school and everything, I ain't got to do this. I ain't got to bother with none of this crap. I'm going to go in the Navy. That's all I'm going to need to know. I ain't going to need no exams. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. I ain't going to need it. Got in there and loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was like being on holiday every single day. It was like being on holiday. I loved it. Yeah. And then
I can see the attraction. You've got a lot of mates, that's what uni's like. You've always got a lot of every night. You got all your mates with you.
Yeah.
if you're docking regularly, I could see the fun. Get off, get pissed, find a lady, and then get back on the boat. And
first ship was the Mediterranean. Had 2.5 months in the Mediterranean, stopping like Italy,
wow.
like all yeah. And it was like being on holiday. It was being on holiday. I can't say any other word. And because the job I had at that time, I was a pot wash, and that's the best job I've ever had in my life.
What is that?
Right. So the cooks would cook your dinner, right? And when everyone would go out for breakfast, dinner, tea, whatever, there was a certain time, and we'd all go into the dining hall, which was a big hall, and we'd pull the tables down from the sides and set up the salt, pepper, blah, 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 put that on the tables. So that was my job. I'd get up in the morning, so I'd have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's not the special ops It's not the special ops I've been dreaming about.
No, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, pull the tables down, set up for breakfast, and then as everyone comes up for their breakfast, I'd be in the slot thing. Everyone would bring their dirty plates out to me, and I'd have to scrape the crap off them, put them in the washing machine, then pull the ones out of the washing machine and put them back out to be used again. But
you done the washing up.
That's exactly. But it was day on, day off. So I'd do that for a day, then I'd have a day off, which, I mean, it's all right at sea, but then when you get to somewhere, as soon as you pull up, you go, it's my day off. I'm going out while everyone else has got to work till 4 o'clock.
Nice. Well, John, when you were in the Navy and you pull up, you go in like somewhere, like you said, in the Med, when you go to shore, do you wear like your dress uniform? Is that
no?
You don't. It's just civvies, is it?
Yeah. No, I never got to do any of that. I think
is that a thing, or is it just they don't do that anymore?
I don't do it anymore. I think
bit of a shame, really. Bit of a shame.
I was looking forward to that. Because I really wanted to go down to like Hong Kong and East Asia and all where you are. I never got to go down there because that would have been where I would have been able to wear me white suit and white.
Yeah, and you would have been fucking. It would have been.
I loved it. But never got to go there.
Why not? Because the change in sort of geopolitical situation, and there was no.
Blair gave it away, didn't he?
Hmm?
Blair gave it away, didn't he?
I mean, our Navy now. I mean, I'm obviously no expert, but little things I see on YouTube, people say it's just.
Oh, it's crap.
Yeah, it's not fit for purpose. Apparently, a couple of nuclear submarines we've got are pretty good, but.
They fired a missile the other day and it just went plop, didn't it?
I don't know.
They tested out firing a missile and it just went plop into the sea.
What, from one of those nuclear subs?
I don't know. I think it was from one of the ships, one of the new ships fired a missile and it just went.
Have you fired one of those phalanx guns?
That was my job for a long time, actually.
So for people who don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, John, but a phalanx gun is it's like a defensive weapon that just fires like a wall of lead to attract sort of heat-seeking or whatever sort of missile.
Just fires up a wall of it's depleted uranium. Just fires a wall of that up. So anything that comes up to it will just be shredded into nothing.
Rather than the side of your boat.
Yeah.
Wait, John, how long do those people stay on those nuclear submarines? I've heard, again, obviously I'm not an expert, it's like 8 or 9 months. They just disappear and
they can do longer than that. I'm told they can do longer than that. I mean, I didn't rub shoulders with stinkies.
Could you do that? Could you do 9 months under the water on a boat, on a sub?
I probably could, but it's not what I wanted to do. I liked going out and watching the sun go down with a beer and having a fag. You know what I mean?
That's what everyone the military. That's how they should advertise it. They should have you, Daily Mirror, feet up, little, you know, white hanky on your head.
Yeah, Union Jack boxer shorts. Yeah,
yeah. Bored shitless on the dole. Join the Navy. It's a right.
Yeah. Meg tucked down the back of my shorts.
We've been told we're going to get porn mags renewed every 3 months, so sign up. See you there. I think it's a shame that they all that. I think if you pull up in port and you represent the British military or whatever it is, you should have a dress uniform. And that's what you should wear. I think it's a real shame that things like that have gone.
I think they used the IRA and terrorism to put a stop to that. That's what it was.
You identify yourself as a
soldier. Exactly. But I mean, it was a fallacy because you could tell who was serving by the bags you were carrying.
Or by the people that got off that big warship that just pulled up in dock.
Exactly. You can tell a Matlow by his haircut, his beard, what he wears, the bag he's carrying.
I mean, I'm no supporter of paramilitaries, but I imagine if they've got a target, you know, they know what they're doing.
Well, I never understood. I mean, I've got into the dockyard with my credit card because I'd lost my ID card. So I've just jumped in a taxi and gone, yeah, take me to the ship. And just like, as he stopped at the gates, I've just flashed my debit card. Yeah, and gone in there.
We used to do it at Dartford Station. When I was at Rochester Art School, I was still living in Dartford. And we'd come back, and this was in the days when there'd be an old bloke in a box, and he'd go, ticket, and you'd have to show him your ticket as you walk through. And one day, my mate got through with a Club Orange. You know, the little chocolate biscuits, a Club Orange. We went tickets, and he showed it to him, and he went, yeah, and just walked past. Next day, he tried a banana. And the bloke went, yeah. He went, hang on, come back here. He's come back. He went, show me that ticket. And he got the banana out again. He went, that's not a ticket. And he's opened it. He was going, I'm sure it was in here somewhere. And then he just walked off because what's this old bloke in his box going to do? How long did you do, John?
8 years, give or take.
And what was it like getting out? Hang on, let me make it a bit more specific. What was it like compared to what you thought it was going to be like? Well, you know, does that make sense?
Leaving, you mean?
Yeah, you must have been thinking about, you know, leaving the forces and going back to a very different life. No,
my head was in a bit of an absolute state at that time of my life. Boozing and what was going on in my personal life, you know, like girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. So I just threw my notice in, and when I'm not going to wait the 12 months, I'm going to get out in 6 months. And if you don't let me out in 6 months, I've got a job lined up and I'll lose my job. So I'll take you to the European Court of Human Rights and I'll sue the Royal Navy. And I was out in 6 months.
Do you not get a pension, or do you have to do like 20 or 30 years or something?
You got to do the full 20 years to get the your full biffed up. I don't get nothing now till I'm nearly 70 now. So
it's such a joke, isn't it? Oh, you're 70 now. Thanks for putting your life on the line. Here's a tenner. They won't have the money by the time you're 70.
I've got a free little tie pin now that says veteran.
It's so condescending.
So
rude.
I'm so, as much as I enjoyed most of it, I wish I'd done something else.
a lot of veterans, I suppose we could call them. That's what they are. People who've been in the military and left. That I know, they're like that as well. Most of them have said to me, it just wasn't what I thought it would be.
Exactly.
They were like, it's a lot of bureaucracy. It doesn't make sense. The people giving you the orders know it doesn't make sense. So it's just like a farce. That's the main message I've got.
Exactly that. And what was I doing while I was away protecting? What was I protecting? A certain state.
Yeah.
I was protecting that while my country had an open border.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, I come home.
Okay. I didn't recognise Dartford last year. Blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind.
I lived there, so I know what you're saying, because I go through Tilbury where I lived and Grays. And I thought, well, what country is this? This isn't where I lived. And I go through Dartford and I go, that's where I used to live. My God, look at the state of it.
No, it's nuts, man. People warned me. They said, and I thought I had an idea, but it now looks like inner London, and it ain't. It's on the M26.
But they call it London now. They call it East London.
It's been called. I mean, when I grew up, there was 6 mental homes in Dartford, and of course, when Thatcher done her care in the community, well, there's no communities, so there was no care. It was just all the loonies were let out onto the streets. It was mayhem. But one of them, the one at Stonehouse Hospital, that was originally called, and you can look this up, the Greater London Lunatic Asylum. And that was one of those places where they had women in there who were in there because they were pregnant out of wedlock and they never left. And they come out in a box, you know. But that was called the Greater London Lunatics. And my old man he always used to curse this. He said they're trying to drag us into London, and it'll all go to shit when that happens. And lo and behold,
it's crept every year. You see it creeps out a little bit more. I mean, when I was younger, and my mum, this is where my mum grew up in Romford, and it was Romford's Essex. Well, now if you say Romford, Essex, they go, it's not Essex, it's East London. No, it's not.
What was that nightclub? Pizzazz? Was that Romford?
It was Grays. Pizzazz was in Grays.
Was that the one that had like the flashy car outside the front? Like I can't remember what it was. Some old rollers or something.
Romford was Hollywood's, I think. Was it Hollywood?
Yeah, that sounds familiar as well. Like I used to love those. I was underage. It was full of birds with massive blonde hair and white stilettos. Oh man, it was. No one spoke to me at the beginning of the night because I was a child. But by the time they'd had 30 sea breezes, I was just snogging adult women.
Like, over 26 nights on a Thursday when I was 16. I used to love
it. Did you ever get to Flicks in Dartford that becomes Zen?
Yeah.
What, Flicks or Zen?
Which one was that? Was that the one next to the multi-story car park?
That's it. The multi-story is just across the road from it.
Yeah, I was in all the time.
Amazing.
I
remember the time when Acid House arrived. But Dartford hadn't quite caught up with the fashions. So there'd be people in there with like a pair of chinos on, a pamplemousse sort of sweatshirt or a shirt even. But it was like D-Mob, we call it Acid. But they'd all be going, Acid, Acid. But they didn't have the clothes for it. The transition hadn't fully happened. You know what I mean? And it was madness because, you know, literally 3 months before, it was like all that sort of, what's all that? It's not quite Northern Soul. Alexander O'Neill. I found love in, but I really didn't mean it.
Yeah. That's like a disco classic now, isn't it?
That's what it was like.
That was R&B, wasn't it?
But then when the Acid House turned up, and there was people in Flicks like selling acid because they got it wrong. and it just was mayhem. You know, 2 months before it was just a pint and like a Fred Perry or something, and then suddenly everyone was just sort of, and then of course people were like, no, it's not meant to be for acid. You want ecstasy. Acid's wrong for this place. And then of course ecstasy got on the in the football terraces, and that was fucking very weird. What a weird time that was. All the late 80s.
That's me. Early 90s to mid 90s. That was me, mate. I was right in there with it.
Yeah, it was good fun though, wasn't it? I mean, I never liked raves. I didn't like them. I didn't really like ecstasy either. I was talking to the iconoclast last night, and I said to him, the only time I really went to a rave was when I was selling pills. But I did like the festival circuit. I was at Castle Morton, and obviously Glastonbury in the 80s was a crack. But it felt like something was happening. You know, it just felt like something was happening.
I think that was the last youth culture we've had in this country. I think that was it. And then jungle drum and bass, and then that went commercial, and there's not been another one. Not that I've seen.
I think you're right. Well, Britpop, but that
wasn't the youth culture, though, was it? It wasn't really a youth culture, was it, Britpop?
It's interesting. Apparently, Brett Anderson from Suede, a mate of mine's told me his book, Black Coal Mornings, is brilliant. And I looked into it, and it was Book of the Year in about 10 sort of literary magazines. And I was watching the interview when he was talking about it, and they said to him, "You were called, you were part of the Britpop thing," and he said, "Yeah." He said the difference is, he said, "I don't want to name names, but I was sort of criticising that sort of working class, undernourished, undereducated." He said, whereas when it went Britpop, they were sort of celebrating it. And Blur, Blur did, they were middle class rich kids whose parents were like artists and, philosophers, professors. And, walking around, park life, all that sort of, it's all fun to be poor. Whereas, I think you're right, actually, there.
They've got a yacht, and we're down with the poor people. Oh, poor people. Shut up, mate, where we are.
Yeah. I mean, around about 88, 89, that for me was when it really kicked off. You've got the Stone Roses, Happy Mondays. I was thinking that because I was at art school, and all that sort of indie music really blew up, and I loved it.
My missus was right in the centre of that, 88, 89. She was going out to like Ibiza with all the DJs, and she was in all the London scene. She was in the middle of the London rave scene, 88, 89.
Oh, you've gone, John.
Younger than her, so I had the bit after that.
Yeah, that I must admit, it weren't my scene, but it did feel like things were happening. And like you say, now I think of it, drum and bass, and then Goldie come out with his sort of drum and bass light, and that was being played on This Morning. I mean, I used to listen to Eruption, 103, 109, 10. Oh, let me remember. Eruption FM 10. Up the end of the dial, proper pirate state, on top of rooftops. They'd actually have their decks in the back of a transit van, like just staying on the move. But then a couple of weeks later, it was being used on television adverts. What was it? There was one it was like that's it. It was an advert for a house odorizer, Touch and Fresh. And it was like, I'm sitting there watching daytime telly, like smoking weed, and it went, touch and fresh. You filled up pressure. Touch and fresh. Release up pressure. The old amen break. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? It's taken about 3 weeks from literally breaking the law to get this music out to ITV adverts. And then after that, it essentially African American R&B, the new R&B, and it's been like that ever since.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as they got their claws into it and thought we can push this out to the masses, that was it. That was the end. But that's been the end of youth culture. There's been no youth culture explosion. Nothing.
The youth now, I mean, Paul Joseph Watson, to his credit, he said this a while back. Youth culture now is your woke students. You know, they're the people who see themselves at the sort of cutting edge of what the young people are doing, and they're supporting governments and they're supporting corporations. It's absurd.
Yeah. That's the rebellion. We're going to be the rebellion. Starbucks, McDonald's.
Yeah. Really weird. I mean, it was a bit hard to swallow, but when the likes of PJW and that said being conservative is now the sort of pushback, but he's kind of right, you know.
I believe he is right. I think that we've been saying for a long time now. I think we're the punks. I truly believe that. I truly believe we are the punks. We are the underground that's pushing back on the system.
John, I think we can take culture, but youth is a bit of a
yeah.
Yeah, what a terrible turnout. What a really terrible turnout. Yeah. Well,
what can we do?
Horrible dark cloud came over the stream then. I'm actually quite optimistic. I'm quite optimistic at the moment.
Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that kids always rebelled and did the opposite of their parents? That was just the thing that happened, wasn't it? But kids used to grow up and become conservative and change their views on the world, right? But since the world went fucking woke, and essentially we haven't grown up and stayed conservative, or we've grown up and become conservative, which is the opposite of how the world's working. So the kids are just going the opposite of that.
You're going to have to try again. Try again, Paco.
Yeah, right, so
you lost me there.
For generations, right? Kids would grow up, they would be left wing, the world would be conservative.
Yeah.
They would grow up and become conservative. Their kids would be born, they would be left wing. Whereas, like you and me, Chris, we grew up.
Your mic's cut out, Paco.
Oh, shit, now.
He's having a hard time here, isn't he, John? Jesus, come on. You. No, can't hear. Really can't hear. I'm not winding you up. I cannot hear. That's why there's no youth culture. Look at the state of this one.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, weirdly,
right.
just at that point, yeah.
Right, so kids used to grow up left wing because their parents were conservative.
Yeah,
the world was conservative. They were rebelling.
Yeah,
we grew up and did the same, but the world went left wing. We grew up and became conservative. So what do the kids do? They rebel against their parents, not the world. Do you follow what I'm saying with that?
Oh, it's a bit subtle. I'm not sure if I do. I'm not sure if I get it.
No, I've lost on it.
I think when you look at traditional, like when I was a Marxist selling Living Marxism, literally at Leeds Uni Freshers Week, it was like it was the free speech issue, and it was like free speech absolutism from the left. The next week, the next month's edition, it had Mike Tyson on the cover. And it said, and the headline was, "What's wrong with masculinity?" And it was a defense of masculinity and kids fighting at school and all that sort of stuff. And that was the left. I think what happened is the values, I'm not defending the left or communists for sure, but the values of the left changed, you know, because now and, you know, this is a bit of a, I'm having a bit of a punt at this, but the corporations and the left share the same ideologies to an extent now. And that wasn't the case before. In the 80s, your left-wing Marxist students, they fucking hated the corporations. They hated big government. Whereas the left now, no, they want big government. They want government in every aspect of your life. You know, so I sort of see what you're saying, but I don't think it's to do with the adults. I think it's to do with the changing values of the left.
Yeah, I agree with that, because you can see it, as you say, the left now they've done a total 180 of what their beliefs used to be.
Yeah,
they used to be all about the free speech, and now they want to shut it down.
Yeah, it's almost
Do you
like
think it's got anything to do with the corporations pandering to the left? The corporations used to be right wing. You know, big business was always right wing, but they spend all their time, you know, putting pride flags on everything, and you know all that fucking nonsense pandering to the left wing, don't they?
I think it's the you know, they're predicting the market. You know, like when you see adverts coming up, you know, I got Apple Plus TV free for 3 months, right? I didn't even know I had it. They kept sending me emails saying, you still haven't, if you don't get it by February the 10th, you'll miss it. And I thought, well, I might as well get it. There might be some decent movies or whatever on it, or football, or whatever. So I got it, and I shit you not, this is not an exaggeration. Non-whites are overrepresented. Like, it's like almost like a joke. Every joke. Go on, John.
I hadn't noticed.
Right, like, and even the ones where it starts off and it's like, oh, okay, this is a fair sort. This looks more like a fair representation of the West. It will just suddenly turn, and all the white people in it are like murderers or something. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. And excuse me. The thing is, they're preparing for the way that they know the consumers are going to, well, they don't know. They believe that the consumers of culture, of consumer durables, you know, are going to be predominantly non-white in Europe and in America. So I think that's what they're doing. It's weird because not only are they preparing for it, but it's also part of the propaganda to make it happen. It's also oiling greasing the cogs of it.
Definitely.
When I went back to Dartford, I know I've said this a few times, but it really fits here. My brother went to Dartford Grammar School, and when we drove past there, it was lunchtime, and all the kids were in the playground. We didn't see one white kid in Dartford Grammar School. When my brother was there, he said there was like one Indian kid. Let me just tell my girlfriend I'm doing YouTube. Hang on. Sorry. Darling, I'm doing YouTube. I'll call you after. Not long.
Okay.
You want to say hello?
Okay. Hello, guys.
Hello. Bye, love. I love you. Bye. That's her joke, by the way, because she sees it on Instagram. Hello, guys. No one actually talks like that. Right. So when we drove past that school, and my brother was like, look at that. And it made me realise that, well, if they're school kids in Dartford now, in 5-10 years' time, they'll be the adults of Dartford. And Dartford will be like Hackney. It will be largely African-American origin populace. Yeah. And so companies like Apple TV Plus, they're not going to keep putting out stuff that they used to. Well, they didn't used to because they didn't exist, but they're not going to put out culture that 10, 15 years ago would have gone down, because these people aren't going to watch it. So, they're doing two things at once. They're prepping it, but they're also accepting a changing market.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now. I agree with you. I think there's a lot of programming in it as well.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It is propaganda as well as... It's weird with culture because it works like that, doesn't it? Not only are you providing content, but content isn't ideologically neutral. It has its part to play in telling people what's happening.
Like the messages. Have you seen the advert for a funeral service where the old boy comes in, walks into his living room and looks at the picture of his family, and there's him and his wife and his daughter, and her black husband.
I don't see a lot of UK TV adverts, in fairness, John.
Dear me. The messages are all over. It's all over the adverts, all over them.
I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because they're counting on that happening. It's gonna. What a weird turnout. If I think economically, England's running out of money because, for the simple fact, you've got an open border and you've got welfare, and that doesn't work. I don't think pensions are going to be paid, or they're going to be a.
John, the welfare state is on its last legs now. That it's going to be over. The welfare state is going to be over. The NHS is going. It's going to be gone. It's going to be. There'll be no NHS.
I think, John, what I think will happen is they will tax the fuck out. This is why people say, "Oh, you know, fuck the Conservatives." Well, yeah, but you wait till the left get in.
Yeah,
you know, any small to medium enterprises, their income, everyone's income tax, corporation tax, VAT is going to go while they try to keep these sort of things alive, like pensions, like the NHS. But I'm with you; they're all going to collapse, and when they do collapse, a lot of these people aren't in England for the weather and the food. I think it's fair enough to say that. You know, that might be the time when they go, you know, let's go back to.
This is what I'm counting on.
Somewhere else. I had an argument with someone the other day on the internet. It was a video of Jonathan Pine. He was on about how Rishi Sunak's, you know, how the government's claiming there's no money for this, there's no money for that. And I just put in the comments, but there's plenty of money for anybody that arrives on a dinghy. And someone else took it that I was blaming them. And after several back and forths, I said, no, what it is they're bleeding the country dry. The higher ups. They're importing these people. They're paying them with our money. They're paying their friends' businesses to look after them with our money. And eventually the whole lot's going to come crashing down.
Yeah.
And when that happens, they'll leave with our money and leave us their debt. And the people that came on the boats, they'll leave and leave us their debt.
Yeah. This is their argument. This is how they attempt to beat us down, Pax. This is what they do. They go, oh, you're blaming the refugees. You're blaming the people coming here.
If I was in their boat, I'd do exactly the same.
Exactly. I would. Of course, we're not blaming the people, letting them in. We're blaming the government. They're giving them money and letting their mates know, come over here and you get free stuff. Come over here, you get a free house, you get free housing. While the people there are freezing to death and can't afford to eat, you can have a nice 3 meals a day, sleep in an hotel. All the white women you can grab.
It's amazing when they come off those dinghies and they get their iPhones out and video themselves landing. It's like,
I don't blame them, and the people are blaming them. I think you need to sort yourself out, mate, because they're just doing what any normal bloke would do at their age. What, free stuff and loads of white women I can grab hold of? Show me how to get there.
Yeah. If you're living in a shithole country that's fucked itself up due to whatever, religion, politics, whatever, and then someone says to you, if you can just get there, they're going to put you in a decent hotel. They're going to feed you. They're going to give you a phone. Once you've filled in a couple of forms and there's people that tell you what to write on the forms to get it, then you can bring your family over legally and then you're a citizen after blah, blah, blah. Then you get free healthcare, free dentistry. And it's like, of course they would come. It's a little bit like Gavin Bobby's outlook, isn't it? That it's all just going to slowly start going downhill and
I think he's got something. I really do think what he's saying is near to point. I really do,
because it's only the people. I mean, I you know, this is not my specialist area at all, but I hear some people say that the reason they're bringing all these people in is for cheap labour, but I don't see. The numbers of how many of them are on welfare compared to how many of them are working don't seem to support that argument.
The studies have been done all through Europe, what it is, and non-European immigrants are always a negative. They take out more than what they bring in every single time.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to business.
What's that?
It doesn't matter to businesses, does it? They ain't bothered about that. It's not them that's directly paying for the people that aren't working. What they want is the labour market flooded. That helps business.
Because everyone will accept less.
Well, they'll have to, won't they? Because someone else, if you don't, someone else will.
I mean, I know I've said it a few times, but that article I read that Somalian mothers in Islington sending their kids back to Somalia because it's too dangerous in North London. I mean, what a turnaround! What a turnaround!
Yeah. Well, Tilbury, I say, some guys got scalped in Tilbury.
It's just like almost it's like absurd, isn't it?
Where he used to live, got top of his head cut off, scalped, shooting all the time now.
That's it. 2 people got stabbed just in the time I was there when my mother died, and 1 bloke got pulled up at Dartford Station with a machete. And in all the time I lived in Dartford, and I washed up back there a few times, that had never happened. And in the last 4 weeks, it was like there's been 3 stabbings. And I tell you what, the amount of people I know who are moving out. I've got a very close couple of friends, and they don't earn a lot of money, but they've been saving and saving and saving because they're going down to the West Country because they don't think Dartford is a hostile, unpleasant place now.
Whole southeast is.
John, this is what I'm hearing. People are telling me it's like it down in Chatham now, and it's like, what is? I mean, I'm naive on this because it seems to me there's so many contradictory reasons as to why it's happening. The only one thing that holds all these ideas together is guilt and shame, and that no, we should help everyone because we've got more. That's the only thing that holds all of these.
But that's not true. But then you look at the councils down at Thurrock Council went bankrupt. They lost all their money. They've got nothing.
Birmingham's gone bankrupt, haven't they?
Yeah, the council's going bankrupt. We haven't got money. That we've got more. We ain't got it. Our councils are bankrupt. We used to get down there. We used to get like weekly bin collections of everything. Now they get like fortnightly. You got bins falling down the road.
But compare that to somewhere like Algeria. Compare that to somewhere like Somalia. It's still a better life. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha. They're coming here and rubbing their hands, going, "I'm in paradise." And again, I don't blame them. at all. But this used to be England. We used to be the pinnacle. We used to be the pinnacle of human. But everybody looked at us as though we lived in heaven.
What
we used
was
to be the pinnacle of
there was that quote, that Indian. He was an Indian minister, and he said that India lost complete. India used to look up. I'm not talking about the British Raj. I'm talking like 10 years ago. Used to look at England as like, they have smashed it. And then they said when we got a Pakistani Muslim as our capital city mayor, they were just like, no, England's finished. It's just you just don't do that. And India is a very nationalist government and people.
India had about 400 years of them, didn't they?
And there's loads of historical documents that they fucking loved it as well. There were problems, but
they loved it. The whole world, everywhere I've ever been, when I was in the Navy, everywhere we went, everyone would come up to us, shake our hands, was happy to see us, loved us because you're English.
I've travelled the world, and when I tell them I'm English, they love it. They love it. They want to talk about England.
Exactly. Even in America.
Yeah. Skin and Tonic drops just short of an Ayrton Senna. He says, the video I sent you with the ex-army living in tents opposite the hotel had their tents thrown into dust carts and told to leave. So Skin sent me a video on his manor. It's up to him if you want to see where that is. And it's like on there's an overpass, and you know you get those big concrete columns. They're all ex-army people, ex-service people, like just living in tents, like the majority of the Soho homeless. They're ex-military. And he said, "This is England." And as he sort of drove by Skin, and he just made a little video for me. And he's just, as it said there, the government, or the local council, have thrown all their houses away and told them to fuck off. But to where? Where?
Yeah. Yeah, go to the next town. We don't want you here.
Yeah. I'm quite optimistic though, because back in the day when this channel was nationalism, I mean, I still believe in the nation state as a model, as opposed to the globalist idea, of course. But I'm kind of optimistic because you get people say this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is what's going to happen, but history's never really played out like that. It's a complex system of, you know, things that different things happen that change things radically and often very quickly. And you know, I was talking to Devon Tracy about it, and he said, you know, I get the Great Replacement theory. He said, but white people ain't going anywhere. They are still breeding, you know, and it's that's an interesting thing, that it's easy to forget that and just think that we're just going to disappear. No, we're not breeding at replacement rates, but that can change in 5 years. That can change in 10 years. You know, that isn't necessarily something that is going to go on forever. And also, immigrants tend to start reducing their birth rates when they move to another country.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But let's have it right. People our age, and I'm guessing you're around us, like roughly the same age as me, John, maybe a bit younger. We had it off, man. Those growing up in the 70s and 80s and 90s, it was just
ever. Best time of my life. Laying in the field, big fat joint in my mouth. I
mean, the nearest we got to conscription was the Falklands. I mean, it might have been a bit different for you, John. Then no, you would have been about 14, wouldn't you, or something? Or
yeah.
But I loved that. I bought the Elite magazine, and I used to read all about what was going on over there.
Firepower. You bought Firepower magazine with the SAS on the front.
Oh, it's amazing.
SAS poster on my wall.
That's it. I had the SAS. It came with the Elite magazine, and it was how they done the Iranian embassy siege.
Yeah.
But weirdly, over time, I've realised that they lied. It was a lie. That although they did get them all out, I think they only lost one hostage, I think. But in this lie poster I had, it said things like they silently took all the plasterboard off a wall, took all the bricks and cement out, so that the other side was just plasterboard. And then when it all kicked off, they just jumped through it and were like, then what actually happened, that first bloke, when they put that like window frame, like plastic explosive on, he gets caught up in his abseiling. He gets set on fire. If you watch it, first bloke fucks it up. He's hanging upside down, burning. But I loved it. Well, I was watching that on telly, you know, 10, 12 years old, just thinking, fucking hell. Because that was the first time you ever saw these the sort of mythical special forces.
I think every boy in Britain was exactly the same. Every boy wanted to be in the SAS then. And then we had a prime minister that she was like, my boys can do that.
And you had that thought as like a young boy that if anyone wanted to give our country shit, they'll send those boys in, and you know. And then look at Bravo 20, another complete fuck up. Just fucked it up.
Yeah. That's my experience in the military as well, though. You do all the training, and then when it comes to right, it's time to go now. Everything just like just goes to
I wonder though, John, the ones that are successful you don't hear about because obviously it was job done. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit generous, but
I would say you're probably right on a lot of them. Probably right on a lot of them. I think a lot of these missions, in general, in all the forces, it's a lot of luck involved in all of them. I know the fault there was a lot of luck involved in that. A lot of luck involved in both Gulf Wars.
Oh yeah, I remember when that Q8 one kicked off. I remember all the housewives were around my mother's house trying to work out where they were going to send all the kids to avoid conscription. And yeah, well, the Q8 war. I don't know. Well, listen, it's I've been at it 2.5 hours. I'm going to pump the iron and then get on with some novel writing. John, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on and talk about the military and your time in the Navy. It's been really interesting.
Been lovely talking to you, my friend.
But don't let that stop you from endlessly ripping the piss out of that alcoholic homosexual Illuminatus.
He's
he's great stuff. John,
as well.
Pardon?
My missus said, "Hello, Dangerfield."
Well, hello. What size boobs have you got? sorry, it's just been a pattern. Nice to see you. John. They're massive. I bet they are and all. John, thanks a lot, mate. I'll chuck you out. It's been a real... Oh, didn't let me chuck him out. Look, he weren't having that.
Gone.
Yeah, JP in the chat. That was nice to get John in a different sort of tone. He was... it was nice to have him on, you know. I am happy to have any guests on, but it's nice when you get someone on who you don't have on every day, except for the wonderful Picard, of course. Yeah, all those JPs in the chat. The grift hasn't been great, people. So help us out and feed me. Don't forget, you can donate on my Substack. I don't expect you lot to. You sort me out enough. But if you do read a particularly good story, you can QR code it. Packer, what do you make of that? I'm going to make that hat up there because it doesn't suit the stream anymore. What is it? It's just by your head. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's not really a... I'm going to make that a QR code. So if you want to donate not using a super chat or an entropy, well, I better check entropy. I saw blogs in the chat earlier. Mousecat dropped an entropy. Chris, I just got back from a video chat with my sister, so I missed a lot of the stream. Cheers for the website tips. A pleasure. I always nearly call him by his name and out him. It's a pleasure, Mousecat. If you want to have a chat about that, anytime, but I can certainly help you. I hope maybe some of what I said helped you. I tell you what, Packer, so Mousecat sends me his website, and I won't go into the details of what he's up to, but immediately I saw a lot of things that could be done to make it a lot better. But I shit you not. Let me just have a look now so I can not exaggerate. I sent him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I sent him 22 messages. And they're not like 5 seconds. They're like, and then I'd finish that one and they'll be like, and I bet he opened up his Telegram and thought, yeah, should have known not to have poked that. But no, Mousecat, I mean, I think hopefully you can see what I said makes sense. But no, always a pleasure. Packer, what did you make of today's stream?
Well, the bit I was here for was good. I don't know what happened with 42 before I got here because I missed the first half hour or so, didn't I? But yeah, nice.
He was ironically, I suppose, he was a soldier. I said I need someone to step in. And he stepped in, and then when
Ian was a bit quiet, wasn't he?
I don't know what happened to Ian. I don't know what happened. He didn't like talking about penises, I think. And I don't know.
Well, he was having that conversation when he came in.
That's what he came in for. And that, shut it down. This isn't a penis stream. We haven't had the numbers, though, but then it's maybe Saturday Arvo, you know.
We're not really expecting you in the afternoon these days. I don't know.
I'll tell you what it is.
Steve came and said he didn't get a notification.
Loads of people don't. It's getting ridiculous. So many people say to me, I haven't had a notification that you're streaming now for over a year, like, and 6 months or whatever. I say, yeah, you've got to press the bell. They said, yeah, I have. I've done this, I've done that.
Yeah, I always get them.
I've got people telling me that my Substacks go into their trash or their spam. And it's like, come on, you know, it's hard enough trying to be a failure as it is, but I don't need the help from the platforms. Before we go, should we have a look at some of these big waves? Have you got 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Because I racked them up, and we might as well have a look. I might get yeeted. People, if I do get yeeted, Skin, thanks for that donation, by the way. I don't know if I thanked you. That's very kind. I've racked them up. So, I mean, this stuff turns my stomach. This is what I said to John. Is it the bit under the boat? What's that, the stern?
No.
Is that what? Stern's the back, is it?
Stern's back, bows the front.
I don't understand why these boats just don't flip over backwards or... Anyway, let's have a look at some. I'll get mine and your boats off the screen. Speaking of boats. That tickled me, didn't it? Here we go. People, let me know if you've got an echo and I'll mute myself, but I don't think I need to. Let me know you can hear it, of course, obviously.
Hey guys, welcome back to Top 5s. I think...
Yeah, we don't need that voice. Another AI voice. Oh, good. Look at this one. Actually, I thought they were all going to be at sea. This is an absolute boat. Beach.
Stick her out in the bottom right-hand corner with her beer.
And a gun on the go. Nice one, Weatherman. Ayrton Senna, highbrow culture. Well, that's what this channel's all about. It has been a little bit down in the gutter today, but, you know, other times it isn't. It's a mixture of all things, Weatherman. I hope you've enjoyed it. A 10 spot would suggest you have. Baz, thank you, Weatherman. Baz has given it an S-tier stream today. What's an S-tier? Paco, any help with that?
No idea.
Eleanor says that penises always make someone cry. That's a really dark comment. Johnny says tickle the glands. Hello, Charlie, who says Alex. It's the keel. That's it. It's the keel. Look, he's all over these waves. Well, we're about to see a load of people. I think we're about to... Oh, nice one, Weatherman. That's good to go. Here we go. Here we go. So hopefully you can hear
strikes this beach, but thankfully large rocks take most of the...
Right, hang on a minute. If you're seeing that... I mean, I'm not relaxing on that beach. Let's just look at that bit again. I'm not relaxing on that beach.
A large rogue wave strikes this beach, but thankfully large rocks take most of the...
As soon as that... I imagine that's the end of this one, but I've picked up my missus and my... chair, my deck chair, and I've left at that moment. Good Lord.
Yeah, I'm off.
Otherwise, these beachgoers would have had a really bad day.
Whoa, look at that. You've got the whole ocean just trying to kill you. I think something that people forget is how strong water is, because it's got the ocean behind it. I had a mate who was in Patong when the... You know, that big tsunami, I can't remember when it was, years back now. But it came in, first of all, there was a weird drop out at sea or something where the ground sort of fell, the bottom of the sea fell, some weird shit. And then it come in, but it weren't like in the movies. It was just like that. But it turns over cars, knocks houses down, because it's just got so much power behind it. You know, this is the sea, for fuck's sake. And I said to him, you know, how does water moving that slowly cause so much destruction? And he said, yeah, you look at it, and he said people were standing there watching it come in. He said, but all of a sudden you're just being, you know, pushed down the road with a car on your head. I mean, it's quite beautiful, but a little bit frightening. Nah, that one's rubbish. Hello, Vinny. No, it weren't that. It wasn't that one. I don't think it was the Japanese one. That was the one where the nuclear power station went down. No, it was the the weatherman said my penis cries in my sleep. Baz has confirmed he meant God level. There you go, Baz. Wow. I mean, you know, I know sometimes not all streams are for everyone. You can't keep everyone happy. Glass is back from the supermarket. You have a nice time, did you, Emma? Oh, Emma. Emma's my favourite of the female scrubs, Packer. I'll tell you why.
I have to say my missus is my favourite of the female scrubs.
Well, I would say that, but I'd be lying because it's Glass. But
yeah,
your
well,
missus is
next to you, is she?
Anyway, back to the waves.
I'm 2 steps away from a clip round the ear roll.
I don't. Oh, two other things. Is this bird here got her stockings on? Get in the water with your fishnets on, darling. Nah, this is the ones I thought it would be. I thought it was
cycling in wetsuits.
Right, insane waves at sea, big waves on the ocean ship. Let's try that one. Ah, these are the ones. Oh, there's mine.
Number 10, a fishing trawler gets tossed around and
right. Hang on, can you hear that, Paco, or not?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Weird, you can hear that even though I've changed it. This is more like it.
Of seas in the North Atlantic Ocean.
Or you can see why John said people are puking, can't you? Look at that little boat. Look how high it's going. Fuck that. Whoa. See, that's the bit though, isn't it? That's why they don't turn over, because the bottom of the boat is pretty much the same size as the top of the boat. Was it the keel?
Yeah.
Yeah. But these still ain't the ones I've seen. I've seen the ones where the ship tends to go up and down about 200 yards. Come on. Give it along.
Number 9, a Navy boat exercise nearly goes very wrong during a storm force.
Because Jay Palmer's at the steering wheel. He's got his Paul Mag in one hand.
The Navy patrol boat had trouble battling large swells. If the boat were to capsize, it would be a difficult operation to rescue them.
On, that's nothing. Come on, you've proper thumbnail clickbaited me here. Let's have a look at this tanker.
Number 8, footage shows a 12,000-ton Navy ship battling large waves in Storm Force 10 conditions.
These are the crappiest ones I've ever seen. I'm sure when I've watched these on my own, they're far more spectacular.
Yeah, there's the ones where the horizon just disappears. It's just a wall of water, isn't it?
That's absolutely the ones I'm looking for. Big waves in the ocean. Big waves in the ocean. What one of them do you reckon it is, Packer? That one? No, that's one we already looked at. Oh, look at that. Look at that AI thumbnail. Did you see it? Look at that. Look. Looks like Lego. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, we'll have a look at a short. Maybe that'll save the day.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Cargo ship. Look at that some fella standing there, look. Yeah, you better start running now, son. Nah, man. I don't think we were made for the water. Packer, bless you. Thanks for coming on, mate. Always a pleasure. Got any... What outro song do you want, Packer?
Oh, man, Dom.
Guitar version or the original?
The original. The OG.
Okay. It does bring back memories of the old COVID 2 streams a day, didn't it?
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's been nice. I'm sorry I missed the beginning.
It really is my privilege and my pleasure. I don't know why it just seems to work. People love it. They seem to anyway. People, thank you very much. I'll get rid of you first, Pack. You don't need to sit through all this. Look after yourself and just enjoy the rest of the week. You know what I'm trying to say.
Cheers, Scott.
There you go, people. Thank you to Packer. Thank you to everyone who came on. Always a pleasure. Thanks to everyone who donated. And most of all, thanks to everyone who came and just watched the stream. It was a weird time, but I thought I'll get a stream in because it's now 11:15 at night. That gives me 4 hours writing. Then Arsenal are going to beat Newcastle. I'll lift weights during the football. Yeah, it turned out nice. Look after yourselves, people. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll no doubt catch up with you soon. Here is a bit of Mandom. I don't know how to do it. I've forgotten how it works. That. Share. Let me know you can hear it. Ta-da!
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. The joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind. There's someone who's waiting for you. Soon the world will be yours for a time. Music starts to play, night will turn to day. Darkness disappears when the one you love is near. You're in mankind. All the world loves the lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind. There's a place that is waiting for you, a world where the best in life is free, where time is always spring, happiness is king. The dreams you dream come true when the one you love loves you. You're in mankind.
Nice one, Packer, for that cheeky late 5 bit. Look after yourselves, people, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're going to get through something about 3 seconds time.
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind.
JP. Yeah, I was off getting new batteries for me vape. Rags, I saw the first time you said that. It's a tricky old game tonight, I can assure you. Packer's still down there. Look, watch this. Look. Hello, mate. You all right? Go on, get out. Look, I've turned the light off, by the way, because it was burning my retinas. Hang on. Yeah, let me just check that. Check entropy. Yeah, good. Look after yourselves, people. Take care, and don't forget the people you love, and don't forget to tell them you love them. Hoita!